So the first thing we have to ask is, how do we change this paradigm where the victims of terrorism are called the terrorists and the terrorists are called the victims of terrorism? And I have some ideas to challenge that. But back to the 10th of January. I was on the march, 100,000 of us, the snow was falling, dark was coming in, we were headed for the Israeli embassy, at which we demonstrated every single day and night of the aggression. It struck me as I was walking, thinking about what I was going to say when I reached the meeting point, that marching was necessary but not sufficient. That we had to do something more dramatic, something that would last longer, something that would have a practical end, coming to the rescue of at least some of the Palestinians in Gaza, at least for a small time. And it struck me that the best thing to do was to announce that I would lead a convoy from London to Gaza. And in 3 weeks, in the depths of winter, we raised 110 British vehicles, 350 British volunteers, and $2 million worth of aid. And we set out on St. Valentine's Day, 14th February, with love for Gaza. And we made that long journey. It was a very difficult journey. We slept in our vehicles almost every night, no showers, driving 15, 16 hours, sleeping in the back of the vehicle that we'd driven, then waking at 5 and setting off again. We passed, as was said, through many difficult borders. The Algerian-Moroccan border was welded shut. They had to use a blowtorch to burn it open. It was the second time in 16 years that that border had been opened, both times for me. 10 years ago, 10 years ago in 1999, they opened it for the convoy I led to Baghdad to try to relieve the suffering under sanctions, which killed more than 1 million Iraqis. Every 6 minutes, an Iraqi child died during that embargo. Then they closed it again, and they opened it in 2009 for the convoy to Gaza. Wallahi, they should make me the envoy between Algeria and Morocco. I can solve that problem overnight. I don't even know what their problem is, some small matter, but it showed how successful Sykes and people had been. The two Arab countries, two Maghreb countries, indistinguishable one from the other in every sense, eating the same food, looking the same, speaking the same dialects and so on, should actually have a welded shut border between them, which of course tells us something about the underlying problem facing the Arab world today. But we passed through other countries too that didn't want us there, wanted us out of their country as quickly as possible, used their police to drive us sometimes 20 hours a day till the drivers were almost crashing and killing themselves because they could drive no longer, taking us down desert roads so that the people couldn't see us, but all their police and all their soldiers couldn't stop the people of those countries pushing through the police, through the soldiers, desperate to touch the convoy, holding their babies to be kissed by the convoy, giving us biscuits through the windows of the convoy. Please take us to Gaza. Please take us to Gaza. One old man in Algeria begged me to take him in the back of my van to Gaza. I told him, I sleep in the back of this van. There's no room in the back of this van, and you have no passport. And your fellahin, they're not short of laborers in Gaza. What do you want to do there? He said, I want to go just to let them know that we are crying with them and we are bleeding with them. And everywhere we were, from Marrakesh to Rafah, in fact from Marrakesh to Bahrain, all the Arabs, except the rulers and their cliques were bleeding and crying with the Palestinian people during this siege, which is another important point we have to chalk on the wall and return to. We reached Libya, where we were genuinely welcome, and thanks to the Gaddafi Foundation and the leader of that, Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, he said, "How many trucks do you have?" I said, 110. He doubled it to 220. They made us welcome at every step, and we entered Egypt.